What's up, party people? Are JJ Redick and Chris Paul joining the Lakers organization? It is looking increasingly more and more likely. I have so many thoughts on both. I'm Jaya Tewari with Lakers Digest. Let's hop right into it. So first of all, is JJ Redick the next head coach of the Lakers? It looks like he is going to be. This has been rumored since him and LeBron started their podcast together, but it looks like it has been officially confirmed that he is the frontrunner for the Lakers head coach opening, per Shams on the Pat McAfee show. Redick, who has never coached before, appears likely to take over in LA, leading LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So essentially, he has never coached, but he's going to get this job. It looks like. I am personally a huge fan of this. I know that's kind of a controversial take since he doesn't have coaching experience, but I think that this upcoming season, it's really, really important to have a coach that connects with our players, especially somebody like LeBron, who is a hot-headed personality. Since it's going to be his last couple seasons, we need somebody who can coach him and somebody who he does respect, because obviously in our last season, as we got further along in the season, Darvin started to lose the locker room, and we want to ensure that does not happen again. And obviously, we know that LeBron has been leading this head coaching search, whether or not he wants to acknowledge it. He's kind of been covering up and denying the fact that it's basically because of him we're probably getting JJ Redick. And somebody that's been calling him out recently is Stephen A, to no surprise. He pointed out that Redick and James talk about strategy, schemes, and other basketball-related topics on their podcast, and says, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's not a mongoose, Stephen A says. We know what the hell you're doing. We all know JJ Redick is the leading candidate for this job. Stop the BS. So he said that yesterday, and basically maybe he inspired Shams to confirm that earlier today. But a lot of people have been calling out LeBron for pretending like he's not the one pushing JJ Redick. But I don't know. Even if he is, I think we should kind of just appease him and make sure that he is able to stay on the Lakers by getting somebody like JJ Redick. But I also think JJ will be great for the Lakers aside from just appeasing LeBron. In addition, there's no way, and so Stephen A also said this a couple weeks ago regarding LeBron essentially being the driving factor for us getting JJ Redick, saying that there's no way Darvin is gone if Anthony Davis and LeBron James want him to stay. If Anthony Davis and LeBron James hadn't spoken against him and LeBron spoke for him, all of those things that come along with critiquing one's GOAT status because the acrimony, the friction, the divide, the fragmentation, all of those things play a role in one's greatness or lack thereof. Maybe that's the reason LeBron has 4 rings instead of 6. So this kind of like scathing call out of LeBron constantly switching coaches, meaning it being the reason why he doesn't have more rings, I thought was a ridiculous notion. I mean, any GOAT is going to have a sometimes not agreeable personality, and LeBron's no different. We remember Kobe and how much of a problem he was a lot of the time, and we need a coach that can kind of deal with LeBron being a drama king when he is, and I think Redick will be able to handle that. Since they are friends, it'll be a lot easier for him to kind of call him out when needed. A lot of people were questioning if Redick would actually have the ability to call out LeBron when he is being a little brat, and I think that Redick will. They've argued on their podcast already, and I think he'll have the capability to stand up to LeBron. I also thought it was interesting that Stephen A brought up Anthony Davis as another driving factor for him leaving. I don't think that it's just Davis's and LeBron's fault that Ham left. He was pissing off players like Rui Hachimura, who are also key players in the Lakers organization, even if they're not getting as much clout or as much attention as AD and LeBron. But also, our next head coach, assuming he lasts past LeBron's tenure, is going to really need to work with AD, considering he's going to be the leader and the one taking over after LeBron leaves in a couple years. So I think also having a coach that AD is also a big fan of is very important. Again, assuming that the turnover does not go immediately after LeBron's tenure on the Lakers. So overall, I'm a really big fan of this potential JJ Redick hire. I also think it will bring a lot of like new, exciting, young energy to the Lakers in terms of kind of bringing somebody that, yes, he is inexperienced, but because of that, he also brings a fresh perspective to our team. And a lot of people, especially Lakers Reddit and Lakers Nation, are criticizing this and thinking and bringing up past examples like think of how that went for Steve Nash and so many other and very accomplished NBA players that came in, coached the team. But something tells me that Redick will be different. Just from the way he speaks about basketball, you can tell he's got a super high basketball IQ. He's also very personable. And I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this, and I think it will be a great potential hire. And then moving on to another potential shakeup in the Lakers. Is Chris Paul retiring as a Laker? Is he going to join us instead of staying with the Warriors for his last few seasons in the NBA, as he also comes up, or as he is in his twilight years and is coming up on his retirement? Is this happening? So basically, right now, Chris Paul has another year left on his current contract, but it is not guaranteed, and so the Warriors are widely expected to either trade the veteran guard or waive him once free agency begins. According to Bleacher Report, the Lakers could potentially look to acquire Paul if the Warriors decide to waive him. The veteran guard would slot into the Lakers' rotation and could provide some much needed playmaking and leadership at the guard position. Were the 12-time All-Star to get released by the Warriors or traded elsewhere and promptly dumped, the Lakers and Spurs both make sense as landing spots. 39-year-old, even in his present form, probably wouldn't get played off the floor in the playoffs the same way D'Angelo Russell has either. So, personally, I don't want Chris Paul. I know that might be a take that is problematic and not the most popular within the Lakers community, but I don't know. I think it would be a waste. He's way past his prime. I mean, if you look at it, his 19th season was by leaps and bounds the worst of his career from a statistical standpoint. He had career lows in points and minutes per game, an 11-year low in rebounds per game, and a 4-year low in assists per game. The advanced metrics went to, he accrued for his team a career worst .136 win shares per 48 minutes. So aside from his leadership and his veteran knowledge, there's really nothing that he would be bringing to the Lakers that is worth wasting our money and cap space, and potentially even maybe having to get rid of a player that is younger and has more energy and has been playing with the Lakers and is really just keyed into our team like D'Angelo Russell. Plus, if we bring in Paul, does that mean that he's replacing D'Angelo in our starting lineup? How does that work? I just think it would not be a good move. We already have one aging superstar on our team. We don't need another. And again, maybe this is just my kind of internalized Clippers hatred coming out from not wanting him to come to us, but I just don't see the value in adding him to the team. We have solid leadership already and our younger guys who we've really just developed so much over the past few seasons, even if our playoff success hasn't been the best, but they've developed so much on the court. They can easily pick up that leadership and carry out what needs to be done. I love D'Angelo as a guard. I've been very vocal about this in all of my videos, and I just don't see the need to bring in somebody like Chris Paul. And again, if we're wasting that money on him, we need to get a player that is going to be with us for longer and is actually going to make more of an impact on the court. Paul is unfortunately not going to. He's obviously a Hall of Famer. He's objectively great, but he is way past his prime, and there is no point in bringing him on. So I hope this doesn't happen. It's going to be interesting to see if he goes to the Spurs instead. I think that would be a better fit for him, and he could maybe help out there because they are in desperate need of leadership and adjusting to Wemby and having somebody who Wemby can kind of look up to and learn from, but we just don't need that right now. So I really hope we don't get Chris Paul, but I do hope we get Redick. Not Reddit. I do hope we really get Redick. I think that'll be a really awesome change and just fresh perspective that is so necessary in the Lakers, that organization that has just been so stuck in its old ways and afraid to make changes. Rob Pelinka, I am talking to you. So with that being said, I'm JJ Tewari with Lakers Digest. Thanks so much for watching today. Make sure to like and subscribe to our videos. A lot of you watch our stuff but aren't subscribed. We post so much Lakers content every week, and as free agency ramps up, as NBA draft is coming up, you're going to want to be following and listening to our insights. So with that being said, have a great Memorial Day weekend, guys, and I'll see you later.